Hi, I'm Jacob Beck, and I'm going to be talking about the research I conducted on aggregated memory for reinforcement learning at Microsoft Research in collaboration with Camille Kiosek, Sam Devlin, Sebastian Chechek, Chang Zheng, and Katja Hoffman. So our first observation was that RL agents tend to have stochasticity in their trajectories, whether this is from a stochastic policy, epsilon greedy exploration, or just environment dynamics. And we found that standard memory models tend to react to stochasticity in a very particular way. So we look at a T maze with an agent at the very bottom, and they have to walk up the corridor to the very top. And remember the color of the indicator at the beginning, green or red, and then step left or right depending on that color. Here are learning curves for both a standard LSTM and our AMRL max model. And then here's the results for introducing noise. So all we did was append a random 1 or 0 into the observation. And we can see the LSTM completely fails, and our model is relatively unaffected. So how did we get to this point? Well, our next observation was that uh, agents tend to have a large degree of control over the order of their observations, particularly when they are embodied in an environment. So a simplifying assumption we make that we relax later is that the agent sees some signal, and then they see some noise drawn from a stationary distribution, and then they have to recall the initial signal. So in order to quantify uh, the amount of signal versus the amount of noise left in our model, we borrow a topic from information theory called signal to noise ratio. We have some analytical results. So for the average of all the signals, or the sum or the max, we can get the following analytical results. And here they are obligatorily, but we actually don't really want to talk about those at the moment. I want to focus on the fact that we can also measure these empirically for much more complicated networks with an idealized signal. So now, what is our proposed model? Well, we can't just use the aggregators that have nice analytical properties because they completely lose all ordered information. And we would like the agent to be able to have some order variant memory. So we realized that we could just take an LSTM, or a standard memory model, and treat the outputs of that as a set and aggregate all of those without respect to order. So now here's our model. We have the LSTM encoding H sub t, which provides order varied input. And then we also provide a skip connection around M, our aggregator, to provide order variance for the output. Not only does this help in terms of signal to noise ratio, but if M is something like a sum, it acts as a residual connection across time and very much helps the gradient decay. And then further, for our models designated AMRL, we pass the gradient straight through, which means that the Jacobian of C sub t with respect to H sub t, we just set to be the identity. So now we can empirically measure the signal to noise ratio for our baselines and models. On the left, we have the LSTM baselines. On the right, we'll have a differentiable neural computer, which is called a DNC. And now we can see DNC in all of our models have significantly higher signal to noise ratio than all of the baselines. So then we also realize that aggregators help in terms of gradient decay. So now we can see in terms of gradient decay, the pink and purple are the LSTM models, and then the gray is the DNC baseline. And our models now are not only better than the LSTMs, but also better than the DNCs in terms of gradient decay. So what does this mean in practice? Well, we test in a Minecraft environment. Here's a top-down view. And now it's a pixel environment, so here's the pixel view. Our input is no longer just one color, it's a sequence of colors. And then we also have subtasks in each room, which provide stochasticity. Now we've aggregated the performance across all of our environments. On the left, we can see this performance. Our AMRL average and AMRL max are the strongest compared to both the LSTM and DNC baselines. On the right, we can see why. So on the right, the horizontal axis, as we increase signal to noise ratio, our performance gets better. And vertically, as we decrease gradient decay, our performance also gets better. So some key takeaways. RL models have stochasticity in the trajectories, which affects memory. And this can be overcome by order invariant aggregators, which still retain ordered information. Memory can be analyzed both in terms of signal to noise ratio and in terms of gradient decay. Aggregators help both. And clearly the memory demands of RL are unique and have unique solutions. Thank you.